The NFL announced that it couldn't substantiate any claims made by Hue Jackson. Hue Jackson alluded and came out and said to the fact that he was being paid to lose games as the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. This comes after Brian Flores said that the Miami Dolphins owner was offering $100,000 to Brian Flores directly for every single loss. The NFL had to take this very seriously because the integrity of the league is on the line, especially as sports gambling continues to go. Everything the NFL and the Shield stand for is we are proper competition. We are fair competition. We want everybody to compete out there. There is parity here. We do not want teams to want to lose. After their long investigation, they said, vigorous investigation, they said, they found no claims to substantiate that. Did that surprise you, AJ Hawk? I was intrigued to hear how they were going to do that investigation there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it didn't shock me to hear that they didn't come up with anything, but it's like if you are going to put these allegations out there, I would imagine you have to have something in writing, some kind of recording, video, audio, something. So I don't know. I doubt we have seen the end of this, but we have right now.
Well, I hope that is not something, because when Flores said it, obviously, it was in the middle of a much broader subject that was being taken very serious, as it should be, and the NFL should take it serious, by the way. The hiring process and who becomes head coaches and black coaches and everything. That became a big, as it should have been, by the way, and I think they are going to change it, I hope. Hopefully, they'll never be able to change that entire process. But the thing that was alongside of that was also a massive ordeal that should have been talked about, was like Brian Flores was alluding to the fact that the owner was telling him, like, hey, not only like should you lose, you will benefit mightily from losing. There's no way any of us NFL fans would actually think that was taking place. No way. Like, that's what the NFL is not supposed to be about at all. Then all of a sudden you got ownership potentially involved. That was a big fucking deal. I'm happy that, the NFL is at least investigating and coming out and talking about it, but that was a big deal for all of us, Tone.
Yeah, it is, especially in the gambling world, because, but those teams, like, you weren't betting on the Browns anyways. Whether they were getting paid to lose or they were losing on their own, you weren't going to bet on them anyways. But, it's shocking that team from Cleveland and Hue, and they didn't find any evidence of this going on and stuff like that.
Why is that?
Well, that's just normally that's a organization up there that's run very well.
This guy.
Unbelievable.
This is something very serious, and all of a sudden you're taking this to a mistake on the lake. You're about to hammer out all the old cliches about Cleveland right there?
No, I would never do such a thing.
Oh, you were saying people of Cleveland
they don't deserve that.
Listen to you. That's very nice of you.
They do a good enough job losing on their own. They don't have to be paid.
Come on. What about the dog pound? Don't they deserve a little bit of happiness?
They do deserve a little bit of happiness.
I assume the Browns are happy to hear that the NFL did turn out and say that the Haslam family wasn't paying Hue Jackson to lose.
Yeah.
I bet you that's independent review into allegations by former Browns. Oh, it's independent. Okay, so the NFL hired a party, independent firm. So independent review into allegations by former Browns coach Hue Jackson concludes allegations could not be substantiated. That's the headline. Now we get into the details. Following a 60-day independent review into comments made by former Cleveland head coach Hue Jackson that the Browns paid or otherwise provided incentives to lose games during the 2016-2017 seasons, former U.S. Attorney and SEC Chair Mary Jo White and a team of lawyers from Debevoise firm determined that none of the allegations could be substantiated. The investigation found no evidence to suggest that the Browns' 4-year plan or the club's ownership or football personnel sought to lose or incentivize losses and made no decisions deliberately to weaken the team to secure a more favorable draft position. They did that on their own. The comprehensive review included the full cooperation of the Browns and interviews with Jimmy Haslam and current and former members of the organization. While Coach Jackson initially agreed to meet with the investigators, he ultimately did not do so. Although unable to speak directly to Coach Jackson, the Debevoise team had access to his public statements and to his filings and testimony in a prior arbitration proceeding. The club also produced thousands of pages of documents, including emails, texts, internal memos, and presentation decks, as well as other material relating to club operations and the filings and testimony in the arbitration proceeding between the club and Coach Jackson. So it wasn't the NFL that investigated this. It was an independent party that investigated this. Hue Jackson did not show up to the investigation, but they said that we will check out some of the other shit that you have said in the past. And they said that Haslam was not paying them to lose. They were doing it them damn selves.
Well, don't you think if you do this, if you're an owner and they find concrete evidence that you are paying to lose games, you're throwing games, you need to sell the team instantly, I would imagine, right? Because that's the thing. Protect the shield. This is one of the worst things you could possibly do, where people would lose trust in the NFL.
Yeah, if you're a program that is running a dishonest program looking to lose games when everybody else, the other owners aren't being told about this or whatever. It's an inside deal behind the scenes or whatever. You make everybody look bad. And also, you jeopardize any future potential relationships as well. That'd be grounds, I believe, for termination. But, I mean, we've seen old Washington owner do it.
Yeah, exactly.
We've seen him skirt through a lot of things that you would think would be devastating to the league's integrity, but he's still got the team over there. Under his wife's name, still got the team over there.
Yeah, like if you're the Haslams or the owner for the Dolphins, you at least can say like, "Hey, I'm trying to make your teams better. We're just trying to lose." Snyder's over there stealing your guys' money.
Allegedly,
doing way more terrible